Yeah. So, sorry. Yeah. And now coming to so that was the first thing that we have discussed. That is 3.1.3. Okay. So next is 3.1.4, which is fairly easy, wherein the order has been issued under Section 73, but appeal order is not in hand, or the order in revision is not in hand. So there also we are filing SPL 02. Then they have discussed about within the timelines within which the SPL 02 has to be filed. So here they have said that the SPL 1 or SPL 2, as the case may be, shall be filed within a period of 3 months from the date notified under Section 128A, that is 31/3/2025. So only one condition is there. So which is that condition? Whereas as per first proviso to subsection 1 of Section 128A, wherein notice has been issued under Section 74, and the appellate authority has redetermined the particular tax, okay? Or the appellate authority, the appellate tribunal of the court directs the proper officer to redetermine the tax as if the demand notice is issued under Section 73 in accordance with the provisions of Section 75(2). Then the same is covered under Clause 1B. Therefore, as mentioned in Proviso to Subrule 164(6), in such cases, SPL 02 can be filed within 6 months. So, wherever a matter of redetermination of tax, but as far as I read, there is some lacuna in this particular thing. What is the lacuna? The appellate authority can never ask the adjudicating authority to redetermine the tax. It can only be possible for the tribunal of the High Court, basically to re-adjudicate the proceedings here. So in my view, here the thing that they have said where the appellate authority directs the proper officer to redetermine, it will not be right. In most cases, it will be for the time being, it will be the Honorable High Courts who have asked the adjudicating authority to redetermine the tax. So in that case, we are getting a total of 6 months. Firstly, we are getting 3 months from the date of the order to make the payment, and another 3 months from the date of the payment to file the SPL 02. Next is where an appeal.
Aruba,
Yes. Harish, yeah.
Hanish here.
Yes.
Just one doubt. In service tax also, when the fraud or suppression was invoked, we have tribunal judgments now which says no, you should not have issued notice by applying that proviso,
Right.
and the liability should have been determined under normal provisions. So even 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20 cases will go to tribunal which is still not constituted. It will go to High Court.
Yes.
High Court then says it has to be recomputed under 73. So is this a permanent scheme till all those cases get closed? Because we are getting 6 months from that order. And if that order comes after 5 years, then will that scheme run even that point of time?
No, that is something that we have already asked to the CBIC actually, that whether there is an end date to this particular scheme. Because as you have rightly
Yes.
pointed out, because they have given us 3 months from the date of redetermination and 3 months from the date of the payment. So 6 months are given, and entire nexus is with the redetermination of the tax as per the direction of the court. So if the court directs even after 2 years for this particular 3 years, what will happen? That is something we have sought clarity. But I think as of date, they have not given the clarity on the outer limit of the date. Even if you see the FAQs, 15 FAQs that have been issued, there also this particular thing has not been clarified. As to your question is regarding the outer limit, that suppose in 2027, court directs, courts give me, because say 1920 matters, I've just got the show cause, I've just got the order. Now I'll go to the appellate authority. Appellate authority may not may not be in sync with my prayer. So then I'm moving the High Court. Then the High Court is saying that, okay, the matter may be redirected to the adjudicating authority to redetermine the tax as per Section 73. Okay. So in all those situations, maybe the ultimate outcome will come maybe after 4 or 5 years, as you are suggesting. So in those cases, whether 128A will be applicable or not, one thing that we have addressed to the CBIC while giving this particular question is that since 128A is a part of the act, it is not a separate scheme, unlike SBL DRS, which was a separate scheme which was being built, or any other scheme that has been built.
Right.
128A has been made a part of the act. So there might be an intent of the legislature or the council to make it an integral part of the particular provisions of law. So maybe going by virtue of that, we will get the read with Rule 164. Maybe we'll get this benefit till the matters of 17, 18, 18, 19 and 1920 is closed. Because one important thing to note, till now, apart from the council minutes, nowhere was it so said that this is to reduce the litigations. And there was a common discord or a common doubt that was being there in the professional circles कि ये जो 128A आया है, this is not a litigation reducing scheme. This is just to give a waiver for all the mistakes, all the sins that we have committed in 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20 because of either lack of ignorance or whatever may be the situation. But if you see the GST and advisory that came out yesterday, and if you see, read the first line itself mentions that since there is a scheme to reduce the litigations and also to give relief to the taxpayers, then they have said the other things. So taking all these things into mind, because even if an instruction is being issued by GSTN, it will always have the backing of CBIC. So through that also you can understand the thought process behind this particular thing as to how it is going to function or operate. So in my view, considering all these things, maybe the benefit will be given to the taxpayers, even if the results come out say after 3 to 4 years. Arpit ji, aapka view? Or anybody else from the house who wants to share their view on this?
Arulji, you have
Yes,
3 months from the date of payment, from the date of order for
Yes.
payment. But if we see notification number 21/2024, it says date ending on completion of 6 months from the date of issuance of the order for payment, notified date.
Right.
Filing of application is also 6 months. So for both these scenarios for payment and filing, there is a time period of 6 months.
Right. तो अगर मेरा ऑर्डर जो मतलब से हाई कोर्ट गिव्स अ डायरेक्शन इन 2026 and the adjudicating officer say he normally in this case high court is giving a direction to complete it within 12 weeks. So I say it's done within 3 months itself. 12 weeks में हो जाता है. So even then, say 26 March, I get an order from the High Court. 26 June, 2026 June, the tax is redetermined under 73. So do I get time till 26 December?
Yes.
So that is the main thing.
Yes, the taxpayer will get time both for filing and payment. It is both 6 months from the date of communication of the order.
Right.
And as rightly said by you, it's an open-ended. So it will, since it is part of the statute, so it will keep continuing until there are matters pending at any forum, and it is sent under 75(2). The 128A will keep go on.
Yes.
Sir, I do believe this 128A, since as you rightly pointed out, is brought in the Act itself, and there are also talks that it may have further inclusions of further periods once the due date of issuing notice gets over. So I believe it should be there until there is some new law or some repudiation of this whole section. I think time limit, outer time limit will not apply for the appeal and order, High Court order cases.
Right.
Anuj sir, I just want to, yes, ma'am, Annapurna ma'am, you continue.
Yeah, you can just.
No, I just want to highlight 75(2), sir, specifically when they have given that the tribunal has the power to direct the proper officer to redetermine the liability, then it should be followed, no, sir. The 75(2) is clear provision.
No. What I'm saying is, ma'am, only here one mistake is there. If you read 3.1.6, it says that, sorry, here, 3.1.5, I think. Yeah. Here, it says that the appellate authority or appellate tribunal or court directs the proper officer to redetermine the tax. Now, appellate authority can never ask the adjudicating authority to redetermine the tax. That is the only mistake here. Because appellate authority can only amend the order, or he can annul the order, or he can uphold the order. He cannot, that de novo proceedings are not there in GST. So that's what I'm saying. To that extent, this is a mistake. Appellate tribunal and court can always do it. And the appellate authority can issue an order under 75(2), saying that, no, I don't accept that these are the conditions for 74 are qualified. So I accept that, it's a 73 notice. It's a matter of 73, and therefore I'm issuing an order. That appellate authority can do, but he cannot ask the adjudicating authority to do a de novo proceeding, unlike the power available in the tribunal and the High Court.
Oh, okay.
Arugda, interestingly, the
25(2).
wordings are there even in the notification.
Yes, Deepak.
Even in notification, it's the same wordings. They've said in pursuance of direction of the appellate authority. So even in notification 20 to 21, they have used the same terms there. So there could be an error in the notification as
Yes.
Arupji, 75(2) gives power to appellate authority to send the matter
That is
back.
what I also wanted to add. Yeah, right,
Yes.
Arpitji?
Yeah.
75(2) gives the power to the appellate authority to send the matter back to the adjudicating officer to redetermine the tax. It does not give the power to the appellate authority to reassess himself.
1 second. Achha.
75(2) uses the same words which are used here. The appellate
Yes.
authority or tribunal or court.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll just take out 75(2) also. Oh. Like, Arpit ji, can you take out 75(2)? There is some problem with my network.
I have joined through mobile. So anyone
Right.
else, I would make Vishalji the host so he can share.
Anybody who's near the computer, yeah.
Sir, I am also on mobile. If you want, just allow me 2 minutes. I'll switch to laptop and then I can share.
Anyone who has joined through laptop.
अच्छा, आ गया मेरा आ गया.
ठीक है.
Actually, there's some problem with the network today.
Sir, give me 2 minutes. I'll join from laptop and then I will share.
Tick.
Till then, you may continue. I'll just
Yes,
share
yes.
in 2 minutes.
Sir, can you make me a host so that I shall try, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Arpit ji, Paul sir को भी एक बार host बना दीजिए तो I think in case there is some problem.
Yes.
So when an appellate authority or appellate tribunal or court concludes that the notice issued under section 1 is not sustainable for the reason that the charges of fraud or misstatement or suppression of facts, PVA tax has not been established against the person to whom the notice was issued, the proper officer shall determine the tax payable by such person, deeming as if the notice were issued under subsection 1 or subsection 3.
So the proper officer has to determine.
Okay. So that means we are saying that there is a de novo proceeding, right? 1 second.
Yes.
But
Yes.
73, once the proper amount. Yes, the adjudication proceeding shall be deemed to conclude if the order is issued within the period specified under subsection 10. Oh, that's okay. Right. So he will be sending it to the appellate. But the appellate, you're saying the appellate authority cannot pass the order, right?
Yes. There is a circular on this aspect also in July 2022. That what is the procedure when the appellate authority sends the matter back to the proper officer to redetermine the matter.
Yeah, that circular was regarding the timelines because
Yes.
subsection
I
3
know the
talks about the
timeline is,
timeline. So,
that he has to do it within 73 timelines. Okay, so I think we'll continue with the circular on the 128A. 1 second. Yes. Okay, so then we go to 3.1.
Arugna, but
Yeah.
sorry, just close that point. On powers under 107, there we see that the authority does not have that power. So is there a contradiction?
Yeah, that is the main thing. But I'm not finding the particular subclause which said that, the order can.
107.11.
that is in 107.
I think
That is
the
about
power in
remand back.
75(2) is for the limited purpose. When 74 is to be converted into 73. That's it. Otherwise, they cannot remand back.
Right.
And it is also on a limited matter of redetermination for 72 instead for 73 instead of 74.
Right.
Yeah, it just does change of section from fraud to the normal section. Otherwise, they cannot remand back.
Yeah, I think, but this is again a separate issue. So I think, we'll have to take this separately again. So I'll go back to this. Yeah. So here where an appeal under section 107 or 112 has been filed by the taxpayer against an order referred to in 128(1)(b) or C, or where a writ petition has been filed, the taxpayer is required to withdraw the same before filing of the application for waiver of interest or penalty or both, and enclose the order of withdrawal of such appeal or writ petition along with the application filed in form SPL 01 or 02. So withdrawal of the appeal is a precondition. But again, they have said that, however, because there is a common doubt that was there in the trade, that मैंने appeal तो withdraw कर लिया, 128A का application भी file कर दिया, और वो भी reject हो गया. So now will my appeal get time barred, and I cannot refile the appeal? So they have clarified. However, in cases where the applicant has filed the application or any other document for withdrawal of an appeal or writ petition before appellate authority, as the case may be, but the withdrawal for appeal has not been issued by the concerned authority till the date of filing of application, he is required to upload the copy of such application. It is to be mentioned that he is required to upload the final order for withdrawal of the said appeal or writ petition on the common portal within 1 month of the issuance of the said order for withdrawal of by the concerned authority. So in case of SBL DRS, we had this problem that where the CESTAT was specifically not giving us any confirmation on the withdrawal of appeal. So we are filing the application and giving it to the designated authority that we have already filed the application, but uska koi confirmation CESTAT se nahi mila. So I think considering that problem, this particular clarification has come in that, within a period of 1 month, we can file the conclusion of the withdrawal. And while filing the application under 128A, we need to give the proof of application for withdrawal of the appeal.
Arunta, I think for withdrawal, they have not notified. So I think it will be a regular application letter, right? Because APL has to be.
I'm told that there is I think Gurjit sir can enlighten better, but I'm told that a form is being developed. I think at least our state tax has said that for withdrawal of the appeal, a form has been developed. I don't know about.
Yeah, not yet notified, I think.
Yeah, what GST is. Gurjit sir, any idea on this or input on this?
You'll have to ask state the question again, sir, please, Arupa.
Actually, whether this format for withdrawal of appeal, whether that is being will be given as a different template, or it will be a manual application, just like we did in the SVL DRS times. Because
but there is already a appeal withdrawal form. No?
Yeah, that is
APL
for the
01W, that is already there. The only limitation there is that say if a show cause notice is issued under 75 107(11), then that withdrawal cannot be filed. Otherwise, in all cases, there is already a appeal withdrawal available on the portal. So if it is the notice, etc., has not been issued, or the appeal, once an appeal has been admitted, then that withdrawal is subject to the approval by the appellate authority. Otherwise, just taxpayers files that APL 01W and the appeal gets withdrawn.
If there is no show cause pending against that.
Yeah, show cause means the show cause under 107(11). That will be the show cause. So if that is the only situation which is not covered by withdrawal. Say that show cause is for increasing the amount. If the appellate authority decides to increase the amount, and a show cause notice has to be issued for that additional amount. So that is the situation which is not yet covered in that withdrawal. Otherwise, all those appeals for the first appellate authority, there is already a withdrawal facility available.
Yeah, that is there. That's that we are already doing it, right?
But I think that should be within that limitation period, sir. Like if you have a limitation period of 4 months, then I think if you have to withdraw, it should be withdrawn within that limitation period. That is what I think APL 1W is there, sir. It cannot be like that cannot be used for this amnesty scheme, what I understand.
No, there is no limitation for APL 01W.
Yeah, we have withdrawn it even after
that limitation period. No, that's what I'm saying. That cannot be used for revisional order or this show cause notice or 73 order, sir. That will be only when the appeal is filed. So I think there will be some uniform withdrawal application, because there is a case pending before High Court also, so writ petition also. So I think there should be something common which can be used as a withdrawal application.
For High Court only, I'm saying that a particular, we don't know whether there will be some format given for that or not.
Yeah, for the higher authorities appellate, the appeal withdrawal, there may be discussions whether there should be a form or not. Anyways, for filing appeals to the High Court, etc., there is no form. So
No.
GST is not controlling that. That is a separate jurisdiction, High Courts, etc. So even the filing appeals there is no form in as per the GST rules for that. So there would be no form for withdrawal also in my view, but I don't know. So there is no tribunal. For tribunal, the forms have been notified earlier. That was also supposed to be now outside the GST, which could say the network, but now the forms have been notified for tribunal. So that filing may come online whenever tribunals are there, considering that the forms have been notified. But for high courts, the higher authorities, there is no forms for filing appeals, so there won't be any for withdrawal. And for the APL 01W, your concern, ma'am, about the orders, etc., it is only if an appeal has been filed, then it is to be withdrawn. If it is just an order, there is no requirement of withdrawing the appeal.
And Gurjit, I think there is another situation also wherein maybe the show cause notice is also issued by the appellate authority. So wherein as per system,
Yeah,
I cannot.
that I said that if
Yeah.
as per 107.11, the show cause notice has been issued for increasing the liability, that is the only situation which is not yet being covered by that APL 01W. So we may see something regarding that, but those cases, in any case, I don't think they are very frequent.
No, they are not frequent. Yes.
That is the only situation which is not covered by that APL 01W.
Right. I think, yeah, that addresses Annapurna ma'am's question. So, I think somebody else had also raised some query. So, I could not get the name because of minimized camera bar. Praveen sir, you had some question? Praveen ji?
Hello.
Yeah, you had some.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had a question, sir. So,
Yes,
like,
sir.
what is the cutoff date for the scheme, sir? Now, say for example, the proceedings are under the SCN stage. It went to the High Court, it came back, or it went to the Appellate Authority, it came back. It is an SCN stage. Now, can I take a chance by participating in the adjudication, obtaining an order before 31st of March, so that let me just try if the tax liability can come down. And once I have an order on or before 31st of March, then I go into the scheme. Or should I go to the scheme as soon as that it is back to the SCN stage? So what is the cutoff date on which the thing gets freezed?
So that's what we have discussed just now, a few minutes back, like here, where it said that when it's allowed for redetermination, so they'll get a timeline of 6 months, basically 3 months for payment and 3 months for filing of the thing.
No, that 6 months is from the date of order, sir.
Yeah, that date of order.
Yeah, I'm saying now the matter is remanded back to the adjudicating authority.
Yeah, that
it
is the
still
situation
in the SCN stage.
The High Court has given say it's a 1920 matter. So as we are discussing the case, it's a 1920 matter. You went in appeal, and the appeal is adverse. Okay, and say now you have filed a thing before the Honorable High Court. Then the High Court has remanded the matter back. Say High Court, by the time it comes to the High Court, it's a 2026 March. 2026 March, the High Court gives an order saying that you redetermine the tax to the adjudicating authority. And the adjudicating authority does it within 3 months, say within June 2026. Then in that case, whether we have time till December 2026 to close this. So that was the question that was being raised. So in our view,
I'm sorry, sir.
Since in our view, since 128A is a part of the act, so I think it will be a continuous thing because it's not a close-ended scheme that has been brought from certain date to certain date. So in our view, so that will be open-ended and you can get the thing redetermined by the adjudicating authority. And from there, you get again a time of those 6 months to, complete the scheme.
No, sir, I think I have not posted my question properly, sir. My question is, I already have a High Court order in hand as of today.
Yeah,
now,
for redetermination.
Yeah, for example, sir, the officer given me a show cause notice.
Yeah.
And principles of natural justice were not followed. And I went to High Court. High Court has asked the officer to reassess the liability. As of today, I have a High Court order in hand, which is ordering the officer to re-adjudicate the matter. Let's say on 9/11/24, I have an High Court order in hand, and the matter is back to the SCN stage. So as on date, as on 9/11, there is an SCN in force. Now, should I option A, that since it is an SCN stage, 128A applies as of today, and
Yeah.
I should pay the tax which is demanded in the notice and opt for 128A, or optionally, can I respond to this notice, obtain an order before this 31st of March, and then when the order comes, I will say 128A is now applicable. So whether 128A will apply on SCN stage or 128A will apply on order stage. If it is applying on order stage, I have two innings.
You're applying both the stages as per your convenience. If for in your situation, if you want to go with the SCN, that's my view at least. If you want to go with the SCN, you can pay with the SCN, or you can get the tax redetermined. And once you get the order, then you can go into 128A.
Yeah. So there's no per se, there's no cutoff date which is there.
No, that's what Hanishji had asked, about the cutoff date. So in our view, there is no cutoff date as of now. But again, we have addressed this question to CBIC that is there any closing date for this? By which date the matter is going to get closed. But in there, we have mentioned also that why in our view, we don't think that there is a closing date, because it's a part of the act. So that also we have mentioned.
Arupda,
Yes, sir.
Arupda, may I ask something regarding this cutoff date? Supposing there is an appeal which is going on right now, okay? And after that appeal is, I don't withdraw the appeal, I don't opt for the scheme at this stage, okay? So appellate authority dismiss my appeal, okay? After that, I got an order from appellate authority, say in the month of December, okay? Now, after December, after getting that order, I think I can again go to 128A because there is no cutoff date. Earlier, in the earlier scheme of taxation or excise, there was a cutoff date as on so and so, it should have been pending or like that. I think, is there anything like that here, sir?
Sir, you are saying that there is an appeal that you have filed, then?
Okay. Appeal I have filed. Right now, I have pleaded the appeal yesterday. So order may come in the month of December.
Yes.
This order may be in my favor or not in my favor.
Right.
After that order, I again think that I should go to the 128A. I think, is there any bar at that time? That is my point, sir. I think there is no cutoff date that it should have been ordered.
There is no cutoff date. And this has been clarified in the FAQ also. When we go to the FAQ, I think we can read this there also.
This FAQ is there, something is there.
Arup sir, I think what sir is saying, I think to limited extent, what notification is saying that payment can be made prior to 31/3/2025. And then they are saying that after making a payment, you can make an application in SPL1. So I think in certain case where the order is passed in December and he decided to go for amnesty scheme, I think prior to 31/3/2025, he can make a payment. And then after making payment, within 3 months, he can make an application.
That's what has been clarified in the FAQ also.
Okay, then that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ma'am, in that context,
Arup sir, I have one point.
Yeah, Archana ma'am, please.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so sir, can we all, are we of some kind of opinion that today, because most of the cases now, what I see is for 1819 and all those stuff where audit is going on, they issue a notice under 74.
Right.
So can we just use this as in that today I may pay as per 74 as rightly mentioned by ma'am, and then I can contest because in case I get that chance and it under 75 too, if it is converted to 73, because most of the audit case won't lie on that litmus test of 74. So then also this scheme will be available for me.
So you're saying you have an order in hand and you have already made the payment?
No, I have show cause in hand. And I know that,
Under 74?
74.
Okay, and you made the payment and you want to go with this scheme?
Some part I will make the payment because where I just think that the whole issue is not going to sustain, I'm not going to make the payment because then the purpose will be defeated. That why I'm litigating.
Right.
So in that case, supposing I didn't make any payment, so then how can I use this scheme? Because then end of the day.
Ideally, in that case, that's what Malhotra sir gave us a solution. That we go and file an appeal. In the appeal, we try to get it, converted from 74 to 73. But now again, that as Arpit was sharing about the timeline for issuance of notice and all those things will come into picture.
Yes.
Sir, but will it be possible? Because when it is converted from 74 to 73, it should be falling within the timeline of 73.
Yes,
which
that's
I
what I
believe
said.
is now gone for 1819 and I suppose even 1920. Then I
Yes.
think this will not be possible, na? Except where it is something like a writ where the honorable court has given the
There is
direction
a
that
stay
you
on that.
convert.
Yes, exactly.
Except for writ, I don't think this will happen in appeals. This will be possible of converting now 74 into 73.
Supposingly, sir, the time limit is still there. I'm just giving an example, supposingly, because there are certain cases where time limit is also available.
Okay.
Ma'am, this scheme is up to
But
1920 cases only, na? The scheme is only up to
1920 cases only I'm talking of, sir. But in
So is
because
time
I have
limit till there? Is time limit still there? I don't recall for
Vishalji,
1920 cases under 73.
Vishalji, what
Yeah,
ma'am is saying, supposedly a notice for 1920 has been issued under section 74, say within the time limit of May 2024.
Okay.
And now, since the notice was issued within time limit, so order can be passed at any time within the specified period for passing of order under section 74.
Right.
So in that case, what ma'am is saying that supposedly a notice for 1920 was issued on 28th of May 2024 under section 74. Now they have the notice in hand. Now, once they have the notice in hand, supposedly the order gets passed, say, in the month of July 2025.
Right.
So in that case, they can file the appeal, post the order, get the order in their favor, and then they can go for the waiver scheme under 128A.
But
Get
the
the order in their favor for redetermination under section 73, since the notice was within time limit.
Okay, so you are saying the original notice was
Yes, sir. This is my whole aspect of asking this query.
Yes. So ma'am, you can very well go for that. There is
If
no
the
bar
original
in
notice
this
was issued in the time limit, then you can go. Because 70.
But what Vishal sir, I agree with his view that there is a timeline for issuance of notice as well as there is a timeline for issuance of order.
Yes, exactly. This is my point.
When the
Vishalji,
time
the
limit,
order for 74 can be passed at any within any time for 5 years from the date of filing of annual
that
due
is
date
true.
of
That
filing
is
of
true. Sir, the question I'll just rephrase. See, I have got a notice under 74 and I have got an order under 74. Okay. Now I've gone on appeal and the appellate officer has redetermined that should be a notice under 73, not under 74. Okay. So now once he redetermines it, the officer will have to pass an order treating it as 73. Correct? Now, if he has to treat this as 73, the order what he will repass or reassess should be based on the time limits of 73.
No.
Which is?
There is no such requirement under section 75(2) for the order of the redetermination being passed within the time limit of 73. The only condition is that a notice should have been issued within the time limit of 73.
Sir, so it means for such cases, what ma'am is covering, the 73 cases can now be adjudicated under the 74 timelines in this particular scenario, right?
So when they would be adjudicated, originally they would be adjudicated treating by 74, but when they would be redetermined, they would be redetermined treating them at 73, all since the notice was issued within the timeline of 73.
Yeah, but within time limit of 74 means the notice will be now finally adjudicated under 73 because of this remand back. But using the time limit of 74, this is what
there would be no time limit for passing of order because
sir, there is no time limit at all.
That would be there would be no time limit because the notice was issued within 73. And take an example that notice was issued on 28th of May 2024 under 74 or order was passed in July 2025. I filed an appeal in October 2025. The appellate authority took its own sweet time of 2 to 3 years for passing the order. In 2028, he passed the order saying that 74 was invoked incorrectly. The matter has to be redetermined under section 73. Then there is no specific time limit for passing of the order under section 74. Under 73 on redetermination. And that's why they have linked it to 6 months on the date of communication of the order in case of redetermination under section 75(2).
So this is a circular.
Sir, if you look into this 75 subsection 3, sir, it allows a time limit of 2 years from the date of communication of said direction, sir.
Yes, that is the circular I had taken one.
Yeah, that is there. So, yeah, only sir, you're right, sir. It is not that there is no outer limit.
Here.
First, the show cause notice should have been within that time of 73. If that show cause notice does not fall, then proceedings cannot be carried out. But if the proceedings show cause notice is within the time limit of 73, then the time limit is 2 years from that date of communication.
Yes. So this is from circular 185 here. Right. So it exactly says what Gurji sir was saying, that in cases where any direction is issued by the appellate authority, appellate tribunal or court to redetermine the amount of tax payable by the noticee by deeming such as such, under 73(1) in accordance with 75(2), the proper officer is required to issue the order of the redetermination of tax, interest and penalty payable within the time limit as specified under in subsection 75(3) of the said act within a period of 2 years from the date of communication of the said direction by the appellate authority or the appellate tribunal or the court as the case may be.
So the order can be passed 2 years from the
2
date of, but the option to avail 128A is a unending time limit. And Arupji, there was one question regarding just before Rachana ma'am.
Yes.
Regarding the case being filed before the notice being the order being received and then the matter being taken to High Court and then the matter being remanded by the High Court.
Praveen ji had asked, yes.
Praveen ji had asked. See, what if we go through the scheme, the extended time limit of 6 from the date of the communication of the order is only where there is a redetermination under section 75(2) purely based upon 74 being converted into 73.
Okay.
If the redetermination is on any other account, say the principle of natural justice not being followed, then the extended time limit would not be applicable. So we have to be very careful that when we are before the
what the 3 months and 6 months you are saying?
Yes. So supposedly there are two scenarios. I have an order under section 74 and the matter is taken to the High Court. High Court says that principle of natural justice was not followed. There is no specific instruction of 74 being converted to 73. In that case, in my opinion, the extended time limit of 6 months from the date of communication order would not be applicable. The due date would be 31st of March 2025. And if the High Court specifically say that redetermination has to be made under 73 because it was incorrectly issued under section 74, then only extended time limit would be applicable. So as of now, on 31st of March 2025, say my writ is pending, it would be impossible for me to say that what would be the decision of the High Court. In such cases, it would be better that we withdraw and so if the order is under 74. So in that case, the time limit for extension would only be applicable if there is a specific direction from the High Court to redetermine the section 73. If direction is only to give a principle of natural justice, then the extended time limit would not be applicable.
Sir, actually my query was not with respect to the extended time limit, sir. The query was within the original time limit.
Pravinji, with regards to your query, so if you have got an High Court order, you represent with the adjudicating authority, get the order again, DRC 07, for whatever points you want. And after you get the order, you can apply for 128, pay the tax, then get the waiver of interest and penalty. It is not compulsory that you have to go only under show cause notice. Even you can get order, but make sure that you get the order before 31st March, pay the tax before 31st March, apply the form SPL 02.
Sir, in that context, sir, the assessee gets a second innings. Like
yes, exactly.
If I take,
so the same thing is happening for cases which are there in appeal. Currently, what we are doing is the cases which are there in appeal. If let us suppose there are 4 matters in appeal, we are trying to get an advance hearing, trying to represent our case. Let us suppose 2 are in favor and 2 are in against. So we are trying to get the order also passed before 31st March. So that at least the favorable thing will get out of the purview, and only for the matters which are pending or which are disputable, for that will go under 128A, pay the tax and close the matter.
Right.
Yeah, agreed, sir. So theoretically speaking, if I have an order today, very theoretically I'm saying, if I file an appeal today, and get it disposed of before 31st of March 2025. So even then I'll be able to get 2 innings.
Yes. The answer to your question will be yes.
Exactly, sir.
Okay.
Acha,
so the cutoff is 31st March 25 for payment, not for
payment,
of
course.
the date of notice or date of order.
3 months for the filing of the thing, application.
No, payment for the tax demand. Application can be filed after 3 months also again.
Yeah. The cutoff date is payment according to the
Payment
scheme.
is the cutoff date, correct.
पैसा मिलना चाहिए बस. बाकी form हम तो बाद में जमा होता रहेगा. So, Arpit ji, since we are having discussion on this conversion from 74 to 75, sorry.
Sir, just a minute, sir, please. Sorry for disturbing.
Yeah, sir,
so, I agree with whatever Arpit sir was saying, but only thing I just wanted, we were in the heat of this, we are missing that out. If the order is in 74 and High Court says that principles of natural justice are not followed and it is come. So, Arpit sir was saying time limit will not apply, but it is not a question of time limit. The scheme will not apply.
Yes,
the order is under 74 only.
Sir, sorry, I think Praveen ji's question was that the matter is 73, but
73.
he's arguing on.
It is not about Praveen sir's
Let me-
question. It is
let me-
about Arpit sir said that in the heat of discussion sometimes we miss that.
Let me rephrase the situation what I was contemplating.
Yes.
Supposedly, I have a High Court order which says that the principle of natural justice was not followed.
Right.
The original order was passed under section 74. I filed a writ petition. High Court said that the principle of natural justice was not followed. Thereafter, on July 2025, the assessing officer passed the order. Now the order has been passed under section 73.
But can he do that? Can he?
Yes, the order was de novo. The matter was remanded back since the principle of natural justice was not followed. So the officer, while after giving the principal hearing, converted the order in 73. Although there was no specific instruction, the instruction was only for personal hearing being granted.
Sir,
Now, since the
Arpit
order has been
sir,
passed June
Arpit
2000.
sir, that will entail a separate discussion that without issuing the notice under 73
Yes,
can
yes,
we
yes,
convert that, because they will be using that extended time limit, issuing notices under 74 and issuing orders under 73. So that would be a separate discussion totally.
Yeah, Arpit ji, exactly to this question only I wanted to have this discussion which is there on the screen. Is the screen visible, no?
Yes.
So here the question is that I'll just read out first, then I will share. So in case where the show cause notice under subsection 1 of 74 was issued for tax short paid or tax not paid beyond a period of 2 years, 9 months, say beyond the period of section 73, from the due date of furnishing of the annual return, and the appellate authority concludes that the notice is not sustainable under subsection 74(1), thereby deeming the notice to have been issued under subsection 73(1), the entire proceeding shall have to be dropped, being hit by the limitation of time as specified in section 73. Similarly, where a show cause notice under subsection 74(1) of CGST was issued for erroneous refund beyond a period of 2 years, 9 months from the date of erroneous refund, the entire proceeding shall have to be dropped. So I think here in Vishalji's question and Deepakji's question comes into the picture. कि मेरे original but 74 का जो notice issue हुआ था, that was issued after the due date for 73. Right, Vishalji, आप बोल रहे थे?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think in that case, what will happen, even if the appellate authority determines that this is not a fit case for 74 and requests the adjudicating authority कि आप इसको redetermine करो. Now, since the original the notice was beyond the time limit for 73, the entire proceeding may get dropped. So, and Gurjit sir, about your question now, that what you are sharing, that अगर officer ने खुद से 74 issue किया है and he's being asked to rehear the matter, give a de novo proceeding because of violation of principle of natural justice, and there is no direction from the court for 74 to 73. So in that case, in your view, the officer on his own, suo motu, he cannot convert it to 73, right? Gurjit sir?
Sir, I think officer can convert, but I think Gurjit sir is saying ki then it will not fall in the scheme and there is no question of time limit and anything. But I think officer can do it, subject to obviously the timelines. But Gurjit sir, I think, is saying that in that particular case, the matter will not fall in the scheme. I think Arpit bhai is also saying the same thing.
Yes. So for 6 months from the date of communication order, there has to be specific instruction that the matter has to be redetermined under section 73. If there is any other instruction, the second time limit would not be applicable. The cutoff date would only be 31st March 2025.
Sir, so in such cases, practically we'll have to add a prayer in our writ requesting the Honorable Court to even consider this point and bring that in the writ order.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll miss out on, because we are getting one benefit, but that is keeping us out of the scheme.
Yes.
I think that is one common thing that has started after 24th June 2024. Like after the 53rd GST Council meeting, most of the writs that have been filed that have taken this position. The the elements of 74 are not there. So this is not a proper notice issued under section 74. So it should be issued under 73 and determination should happen. So this is something that has actually started after June 2024 when we got this in the 53rd GST Council meeting.
And Arupji, since we are on the writ issue,
yes.
I would have seen I have seen it that supposedly for filing of the 128 application, I have to withdraw the appeal.
Right.
There is a specific provision of reinstatement of appeal if the 128 application is rejected. My original appeal would be reinstated. But if supposedly the writ is withdrawn, there is no specific clause of writ being reinstated.
Yeah, that is not there. I think.
Yes. So whoever is withdrawing the writ for filing 128A is taking a call that his application would be accepted, because if the application is not accepted, he would be left with no other option.
Agreed, sir. Agreed, sir. Because writ is a constitutional right.
Yes.
And it cannot be governed or be bound by the provisions of this particular law.
So whoever is before the courts filing a writ has to be very, very circumspect while withdrawing the writ for 128A, because there is no going back in writ.
Okay, so here it says only about the applicant will be required to withdraw the SAPL final application in this as the proof or the order for withdrawal has not been issued. It's okay, the procedure. Yeah, I think about the writ they have not mentioned.
Sir, anyways, it cannot be, because writ is a constitutional right and it is a prerogative of the Honorable High Court or the Supreme Court, as the case may be.
To accept it.
Yeah, to accept it or to entertain it in the first place. So what Arpit bhai is saying is a very valuable point, that whenever we are planning to withdraw the writ, we have to be very skeptical and do double cross-check of the case before we withdraw and apply 128A.
Yeah, I think that is one aspect that needs to be checked. Yeah, in fact, see, about the restatement of appeal, it has been said because the procedure is, as Vishalji has rightly said, the procedure is entirely governed by the governed by CBIC, so they have a control on that. But regarding writ, I think it will be again on the the actions to be taken will depend on the honorable benches of the High Court whether they'll accept that appeal once again. Once we have withdrawn it.
So now another prayer has to be added, just like 74.
With liberty.
It will come back.
Sir, but as per whatever I have till now observed and studied, I don't think such a prayer is possible, because every writ is an independent case and every bench has its own understanding and right to whether to entertain it or not in the first place.
We can file a prayer that for a liberty to file an appeal, but never a writ, never a liberty to file again another writ on that.
Yes.
No, it was only on a lighter note.
Yes, agreed, sir.
So I think it's already just 3 minutes left. So I think इसमें तो और कुछ अभी add नहीं कर सकते. So if there are any further queries, we can take it.
सर एक ही क्वेरी है रूपदा जो सबके माइंड में आ रही है.
बोलिए सर.
अपील फाइल करनी कि नहीं करनी? अब जिनकी अपील का टाइम अभी नहीं हुआ है, तो वो अब अपील क्यों फाइल करेंगे? अपील फाइल करना जरूरी है कि नहीं है? That is a point,
नहीं, जैसे विशाल जी ने बताया ना, मतलब विशाल जी फ्रॉम चेन्नई, विशाल वी, as he has rightly shared, कि अगर आपका कोई टैक्स डिमांड घटेगा अपील में जाके, जैसे हमारा भी काफी ऐसे ग्राउंड्स है जो कि हम लोग वो 3B2A मिसमैच का जो सर्कुलर मतलब डिक्लेरेशंस है हम लोगों ने एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी को नहीं दिखा पाए थे। तो अभी जो है कि अभी अगर अपील में जाते हैं,
वो तो ठीक है सर, वो तो ठीक है, 31/25 पहले ऑर्डर ले लो, दैट इज गुड। लेकिन अपील फाइल करना मैंडेटरी तो नहीं है स्कीम
सर
के लिए।
नहीं चाहिए सर, मैंडेटरी नहीं है सर।
तो मैंडेटरी नहीं है, इसलिए तो 1A दिया
अगर
है।
आपके पास कोई ऑर्डर है जिसका
हाँ।
120 डेज भी एक्सपायर हो गया, एक एग्जांपल,
हाँ।
4 महीने भी हो गया अपील का टाइम भी, तब भी आप 128 में जा सकते हो।
जा सकते हैं, जा
और अभी रिसेंटली मेरी थोड़ी बात हुई थी स्टेट डिपार्टमेंट और सेंट्रल डिपार्टमेंट में,
हाँ।
तो वो सब क्या बोल रहे हैं, आप एक बार के लिए टैक्स पे कर दो, पेमेंट टुवर्ड्स डिमांड में। और आपको अगर डर लग रहा है तो आप एक रिक्वेस्ट लेटर लिख के दे दो मैनुअली कि हम 128 में जाना चाह रहे हैं, बट फॉर्म अभी तक लाइव आया नहीं है और मैंने टैक्स भी भर दिया है, प्लीज डोंट इनिशिएट एनी रिकवरी एक्शन।
I think Arpi sir will be able to tell us again in that section, that part B or part C, they have only written that if an order is passed but no appellate order is passed, appellate order पास होना नहीं होना, वो अगर रिटर्न अगर अपील फाइल नहीं की तब भी तो वो नहीं ना पास होता। वो ऐसी आई थिंक
यहाँ पे अगर वो रहता ना कि वेयर एन अपील हैज बीन फाइल्ड बट नो ऑर्डर हैज बीन पास्ड, तब अपील फाइल करना कंपलसरी होता।
तो our group is of the opinion that there is no mandatory filing of appeal is required. Okay,
but Malhotra ji,
Arup ji, just to
is there not a risk, sir? Is there not a risk? Sorry to interrupt. There will be one calculated risk that we have to take, that if SPL01 is rejected on any pretext, say in DRC3, probably while paying that amount, just for example, hypothetically speaking, you have not chosen voluntary payment or you have not chosen section 73, because there is a very small wording within code which says DRC should have been paid under voluntary payment and others. That is the term that is first used. So by mistake, this DRC3 is not a valid DRC3 for setting off. In such cases, there is a possibility that this application may be rejected and we may be asked to pay the amount. That case, you will be losing the power to appeal in case you are not filing the appeal within that 120 days time. If it is a calculated risk that we have to take.
So that is an assurance only. If you want to take insurance policy of that, then you can do that. Yes. Otherwise, no need. Okay, thank you, sir.
Hanish ji had some question. Hanish ji, just last question aapse.
Sir, just playing devil's advocate from department's angle.
Yes, please do.
We've got a question in the FAQ which says that if there is a delayed filing of returns, then is the amnesty scheme applicable? That is, waiver of interest and penalties applicable? The response is it is a self-assessment liability. On this, there'll be no interest and penalty waiver. There is a direct recovery. Right. Logic कोई भी नहीं है, because there is nothing which is there in the section or which is there in the rules which gives powers to the circular to give this kind of a clarification. But if there is a department officer who is trying to compare these two situations, वो बोलेगा कि अगर order pass हो गया है, there is a direct recovery mechanism available for me. I have not initiated that recovery provision. Okay, that does not mean that you are unable to file an application under the waiver scheme. So I will recover the entire thing and you are not eligible.
No, that is one of the major doubts for 7512 that we'll have to discuss next day, wherein I have filed the one with say 18 lakhs of tax. I have filed the 3B with 10 lakhs of tax, and that is considered to be a self-assessment tax that had to be paid. उस पे अगर इंटरेस्ट बाकी है, अभी मेरे पास नोटिस आया है अंडर 73.
My point was that only, Arip ji, I'm sorry.
Yes.
कि अगर उनका circular है, I'm not talking about legality. I'm saying how will be the perspective of the officer. So we're looking, see, if I have got a circular for 1 versus 3B mismatch, where they say 1 versus 3B mismatch may if 1 is more, I will not give you waiver of interest and penalty. The reason is that it is because of 17/5/12, which talked about automatic recovery in case of self-assessed tax. Okay. So now, if an order has been issued to you and 3 months time limit has been passed, okay,
right,
that means you have not filed the appeal. There is an automatic recovery provision available here also.
Yes.
So even in this case, I will not give you the benefit of the scheme.
No, but they have to go by 7512 ka wordings and explanation also. No, that is also what the officers are being trained. We have recently taken a session for the officers also, and here they have been specifically told to spend 20 minutes on 7512 only. So that is something that the government is taking very seriously to distinguish between what is a self-assessed tax and what is not. Like as you're saying, in one was this, 2A 3B का mismatch है, so that will not be calculated as self-assessed tax because 7512 अगर देखेंगे उसमें there is clarity. We'll discuss this in detail in the next day. So there is a clarity where 1 has also been filed, 3B has also been filed, but the tax has not been paid according to 1. So उसका एक लंबा discussion है. So I would like to keep it for the next day because we can do justice to the discussion. Okay, but just to be think that the officers, I think many of our fellow friends, they are also taking sessions on 128A for the officers. So at least in West Bengal, we have been told to spend at least 20 minutes on 7512. Kya hai? How to distinguish it? So that whenever the scheme is coming into picture or whenever the proper officers are guiding the taxpayers, they should have a clear idea on what is self-assessed tax, how it is arriving and how it is not arriving on that. So on this note, we'll have a closure on this because today I am the timekeeper. I'll have to. So recently I was in one of the seminars and what happened, I saw is the speaker was speaking for more than 40 minutes, but suddenly he was not audible. Why? Because they had stopped the mic. So before the mic stops, I'll stop. So thank you everyone for joining in today. I think it was a wonderful discussion, and as every SMS, we take away a lot of takeaways from SMS. So we'll continue 128 discussion forward in the next session on next Sunday, which is the 16th of November. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Rupda.
Arpit ji, aapka final words.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchi, and thank you to our speaker for today for taking us through the 128A intricacies and all the participants for joining in. And Arupda would have thought that he would cover 128A, but we did not allow him to go past 128.1AB. So it's a test match, not a T20 for 128, and continue it in the next session. Thank you very much, all.
Thank you. Thank you.
अर्पित जी आजकल तो टेस्ट मैच भी 43 रन पे खत्म हो जाता है और T20 में 200 मार देते हैं.
सही बात.
Sure, great.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Bye.